I am outside one of the most underrated resorts in Disney World, Coronado Springs, to do a 12-minute tour. This 12-minute tour, we're gonna be going over the lobby, the pools, the restaurants, the room types, all that jazz. We're gonna cover it all to decide if this is someplace you wanna stay when visiting Disney World. To me, it's one of the most underrated resorts at Disney World, and after this tour, you're gonna see why. Let's get right into it. This is a moderate resort, but as you walk up to check-in in the Gran Destino Tower, it might not feel like that. When you're getting dropped off though at the resort, you're gonna be getting dropped off right in front of the tower. That will lead you into the lobby for check-in, as you can see right there. Right to the left of the tower and check-in. Down that way, you saw what was behind me, is the Disney bus transportation. The small cons about Coronado Springs is the only means of transportation here is bus. So no Skyliner, no monorail, no boat, just bus. Here's a look at that main bus stop right here. You have pickups for each of the parks and some of the other ones. You have a board that tells you the time. And the bus stops are very important here because it is a large resort. So this is the main one by the tower, but there actually is more bus stops throughout the resort. We'll talk about them when we get to each section. And back up to the lobby where you check in, get dropped off. You can see people getting dropped off. They also have bell services and valet up here before you get into the lobby. Here's a little 360 view of the lobby. Plenty of places to sit down and relax if you're waiting to check in. It is a beautiful lobby, and you can see decorated for Christmas. Very gorgeous in here. This opened in 2019, and it's one of the best on property in my opinion. Now when you walk into the lobby to the left, you're gonna find your ATM, your mailbox, your restrooms, but I wanna talk about the elevators. There's 16 floors in this tower, but the most important to me is floor number 16. They do have the Toledo restaurant. I personally never ate there, so I can't give a review on it, but they have the Dahlia Lounge. It's one of my favorite lounges on property. Gives you gorgeous views during the day and at night. Good drinks, good food, can't recommend it enough. We don't have time to really explore that. Maybe that's a review for a future video, but the Dahlia Lounge on the 16th floor is one of the best lounges on property. Also to the left of the lobby, you do have your fitness center. Very easy to miss over here after the elevators. So if you're looking for the fitness center, this is one of the entrances over here. Now on the right side of the lobby here is just pretty much your check-in. So you have your check-in desks over there and then places to sit for that, your concierge, but that's just pretty much the right side. Not too much going on here like the left. Now on the first floor of the lobby, you do have restrooms down here as well, and you have the Barcelona Lounge, a lobby bar with great drinks, great bartenders, and a gorgeous looking bar. Easily one of my favorite lobbies on property. Now we need to head from the lobby towards the convention center. Now you're gonna come through the doors after the lobby. You have like a little business area here to do some work. With it being a convention center resort, you're gonna find a lot of those areas. We saw some in the lobby and then here as well. Now we make it to the middle where there's a fountain. Now you can go outside right there towards the parking lot. They have the gift shop here as opposed to right by the lobby. And then straight down that way is gonna be your restaurants. And then to the right will be out to the grounds of the resort. Now your gift shop's just gonna be your standard Disney gift shop with merchandise, some food, some drinks, and some necessities you may need. All right, now let's head down and talk about some of these restaurants because we got some underrated restaurants at this underrated resort. They have Rick's Sports Bar and Grill here. Here's a quick look into that restaurant. Not a big restaurant. You know I'm a big sports guy, so I get asked all the time, is there a good sports bar to watch the games at Disney World? There's no great ones. Rick's Sports Bar is a fine option. It does have some TVs, but some of the seats aren't great for seeing that, and they usually have multiple games on unless you know it's one of those big time games. So if you are looking for a big time game, whether it be the NFL, the NBA, anything like that. It's a fine option, especially if you're staying here, it's a good option, but I wouldn't go out of my way to eat here. I still think CityWorks would be the best, but even that is not a great sports bar. It's a good bar and restaurant with some TVs to watch a game, but it's not like, you know, a traditional sports bar. They don't really have that at Disney World, unfortunately. So this is an option if you're looking for a big game. You know the reservations do fill up for that, so make sure you're making that in advance if you plan on being here for a big game. That said, good food, good drinks. I enjoy my time there when I eat at Rick's. Now when you go in here, Rick's will be on your left. Straight ahead will be the convention center. The convention center is pretty well hidden where if you're not here for the convention, you don't even have to go over there, so it's fine. And then you have the quick service restaurant over here on the right. Now before I say this, I want you to remember I'm Irish, okay? El Mercado de Coronado, is that how you say it? Either way, this is a great quick service restaurant. Here's a look at the different options. You have a bakery, you have a pizza place right there, you got a grill station, kids grill station. This opens up later tonight for dinner from 5 to 11. You can get some like protein, some rice bowls, some stuff from there. Now, if you watch my other 12-minute tours at the value resorts, you know I like their quick service for their variety of options, right? Well, this is the same here. I would say the food is a bit of an upgrade though. Some of the food options, just better options, they taste better here. Staying at a moderate resort, that's what you'd expect, and that's what you get here. It's definitely, to me, an underrated quick service. Not enough people talk about it. It's a great hotel quick service here. All right, let's go explore the grounds. All right, as we come out from there, there's the tower right here. Here's a look at that map. We are right here. So we've explored the bulk of the lobby and food stuff all right there. And then here's a look at the grounds right there. So there's three main areas right here. You got the Casitas, you got the Ranchos, and you got the Cabanas. Each of which, we talked about the bus stop. We have that one here. Each of which, as you can see, has a bus stop going around. So each section does have one. So you don't have to walk from back here all the way to right there. And like I said, they do a great job at blocking out the convention center, that it's here, it's on property, but really you don't even have to even go anywhere near that. There's that Laguna bar right here, right out by the water. Seating goes all the way around the bar, and grabbing a drink right here, and this is just gorgeous. It is a picture perfect 70-degree December day here in Florida. This opens later tonight. It's not gonna be that cold tonight. It's gonna be perfect weather to just have a drink and look out right here. This resort really is gorgeous. I mean, just the views from the tower, and then you go down, and then we're gonna get to that in a minute. But that right there, straight ahead, one of the most underrated Disney restaurants. I love it there. Now here we gotta look at some directional signage. We have a bit of that out here. Now I'm interested to see how much directional signage there is around here, because this is a big resort. Here we are in the first section of rooms right here, the Casitas right here, on its very own pickleball court. I have not seen this at a Disney resort yet. The Casitas section is bigger than you'd think. This moves us into the back portion of it right here. Just a gorgeous hotel area. Again, definitely somewhere you want to pay attention to the signs. Easy to get lost just because it's so gorgeous back here and quiet right here. You can see we have signs right here towards the bus stop, the health club, the salon, the pool, and the laundry, all back that way. I mean it when I say this resort gives off deluxe vibes for a moderate price. No, this is not the pool. Pretty decent sized secondary pool as well here. You know, a lot of things we've seen at some of the resorts is those secondary pools that are just in the section of rooms, not the main pool, are rather small. That's not the case with this one. That's a good sized pool right there. And then behind the pool, you have the last sections of Casitas, Casita 4 and 5. And I want you to see, look at how far we are from the tower. And that is just through those restaurants and then around here. That is just the first section. You want to talk about feeling like you're transported a bit? This does not feel like Disney property. It's just so quiet back here. Definitely one of the quietest sections I've ever seen at a Disney resort. Now back here, they do have guest laundry and a pool, but no health club or salon. That's just at the Casitas. Here's a look at that pool though. Also a very good size. I will say there is a decent amount of signage around this resort. Your first day or two here, you're definitely gonna need to utilize a map and keep your head up. Here you have the end of the Ranchos, moving over to the Cabanas over here, an even smaller section than the Casitas and the Ranchos. But not least, you have the Cabana rooms that run along the shoreline here. You can see, nice little area. Probably my least favorite of the area design-wise, but they do have some hammocks right here on the sand overlooking the water right there. Here is the last of the pools. The pool's over by the Cabanas. There is not a soul here. It is 2 p.m. There is not a soul here. Nice and quiet. Probably one of the smaller pools. This is more like those kind of like satellite pools than the main one, but still actually a decent size. Coronado does their pools right. And again, this is just quiet over here. All right, we gotta talk about this last pool, the dig site, one of the most popular pools in Disney World. Now the dig site is definitely gonna be the loudest part of this resort. There's a lot going on here. Let's unpack it all, but it's definitely an awesome area. You got your restrooms, you got an arcade, you got a playground straight ahead, you got some ping pong right here. The dig site pool, which you've definitely seen probably in pictures of Disney World. Great backdrop for a pool right here. You can see that. And there's a slide on the other side. Very large pool. They have a kiddie pool on the other side, and they have a spa over there as well, a little hot tub. You got your pool bar, you got your pool food right here. You can get some chicken tenders, all that stuff right there, and some good drinks. A volleyball court, by the way, as well, right next to the spa. The area is awesome. And if you have kids, that's probably gonna be their favorite part of their resort, between the arcade, playground, pool, all that jazz. But I also think it blends like some adult elements as well. Obviously you have the pool bar, but just the area and stuff, there's a lot of places to sit and actually like kind of wraps around well, where you can kind of find a quiet section if it's not too busy at the pool. So good. And then this is what I was talking about earlier. So as you can see, I'm walking on a bridge in the middle of the lake here in the tower. There's 3 bridges from all around that connect in the middle right here. Restaurant right here in the middle. It's one of my most underrated restaurants at Disney World. I love my eating experience here. The food is solid, but I mean the views. It's never that busy. It's not a big restaurant, but the views are just great, especially at night. If you're staying here, you have to eat here. Let's talk about the room types they have to offer here at Coronado, because there is a lot. On the website, there's gonna be a couple different options. You have Village or you have Tower. Tower is obviously that Gran Destino Tower, which we saw in the beginning. Village is all the rooms spread across what we saw on the grounds, right? They have your typical standard and preferred rooms based off of views. The standard rooms are gonna be looking at the parking lot. The preferred rooms are gonna be looking at some of the other things there. Now in the Village, they also have some suites that can sleep up to 6 and up to 8. Now the ones that can sleep up to 6 are the 1-bedroom suites. They also have the executive suites that sleep up to 8. Now let's get to the Tower. They do have your standard rooms that either have 2 queen beds or 1 king bed. They sleep obviously from 2 to 4. They also have club access suites where they have your deluxe suite, your standard suite, or your presidential suite. All of those can sleep up to 2 to 4 to 6 in that tower. Who do I think this awesome resort is made for? Well, if you ask me, I think this is one of the best resorts for adults who are visiting Disney World, whether they're couples, solo travelers, just a group of friends coming. I think between the 6 different bars, lounges, and restaurants they have here, a lot of different options for people. It's very quiet in a lot of those areas, so you can definitely find more private sections there where it's just a bit more quiet than like the value. The only cons I would say, like I said, the transportation is just the buses here, so you don't get any other modes of transportation, and it is an Animal Kingdom area resort, so you're a bit far from like Magic Kingdom and not as close to Epcot and Studios as some of the other ones there. Be super close to the parks, this probably isn't for you, but like I said, I think it's great for adults visiting Disney World. I have enough stuff here too for families as well. I think it's the best moderate resort. It's one of the most underrated resorts. I love Coronado Springs, as you can see. So if you were looking at Coronado Springs as somewhere to stay, I hope this video was at least able to help you out and give an answer. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on Sunday.